test. Testing. Greetings. How's everyone doing this Thursday? We woke up late, so enjoy the raccoon eyes. Yeah. um don't think we have really much to say. So let's start. Let's get in. I think last time we were bothering a boat dock lady, a bougie boat lady.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be her henchmen. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Oh.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Okay.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Let's see. Yeah.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Octopus? I'll slay it.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Yeah, what's your role?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
How are talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
Bummer.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here.
Ah.
I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Weird.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes, Both times, the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time, their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
How's audio sound? Looks good.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I don't like it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Not hard communist enough for me.
Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizazzo of every worker a member of the board.
What exactly do you mean by it, though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Difficult.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
King is dead, long live the workers.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Tell me about the union boss.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Good for him.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt.
Oh.
I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh heavens, no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Nepotism's not really cool.
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about union itself, outside of brothers?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Hard not to have opinions.
Of course, officer.
Did something happen at the
I'm
elections?
glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Okay.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
What happened to this? Oh, man.
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Go
Wow.
short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
No way to put his scabs there.
Of course. How else can I help? That's the man who was killed.
Tattoos?
I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you do know something.
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
That this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They're really one and the same.
Are they now?
Kim, back us up!
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Okay. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
What is this Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me about perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality.
I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing?
Let's try this.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something
Oh.
close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
There. What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Wait for what? For revolution?
For the big time. The revolution.
And what is this resolution about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
By liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement.
Fucking liberals.
Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution, They were called the Ultras, or Ultra-Liberals. They fared well.
How did the Whipples win it all?
Didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
Yeah. Everyone got shot. Who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
It's a coalition.
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
Loyalist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is.
Fucking
They believe
conservatives.
in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Ugh.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
I don't think I am a moralist.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
Rooty tooty pointy shooty.
That's the way of history.
That's
They
enough.
are what they are. Who knows? Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
What are you?
What I am not is a basic term of reality.
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself.
What's this?
Bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
What is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
What is that?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat. Wonderful.
What is that?
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Agriculture.
Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags.
Ah, a hipster.
She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid.
What isn't?
There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay.
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
I think I might be part of an infraculture.
And what would that be?
Disco!
I can see that, yes. I dabble in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. all permeating. Downright mandatory. Nothing infra about disco, baby.
Disco?
Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet of the whole thing for me.
You?
The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It came out of post-revolutionary Revachol. It was ultra-liberal. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now.
Got it. Let's take it back to Reality Central for next
Maximum
one.
Rio, officer.
What? Fuck it. Let's try it.
A strange coldness comes over you
F.
as you look.
That's all.
Glad to have been of assistance. A
No,
little that I know. Anything else?
let's learn about some
It's
drug
quite
trafficking.
straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Drugs.
Meth and dextroamphetamine,
Ah.
GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samurai to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Boys.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
No coincidence, is there?
No.
Is it?
We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What's the proof you have?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
Saved up money?
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
Think it's being funded by drug money?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Okay.
Yes?
Take this case, probe a diary, see what yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hope it may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need.
Okay.
In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Money.
Voila, you're doing it.
Rich, can I have some money?
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring all of it with me.
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
130.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
Nice.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Thanks for paying for your destructive habits.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
Funny that you're worried about this and not your ruthless exploitation of entire human race. Seems kind of mean to say after getting some money. So I get my head around it.
You're right, ma'am, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, and seem
Hi, Maple.
to be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today? Supplementing its salaries.
That's fine.
Of course, Detective.
Well, we got the money to pay rent, so that's exciting. That's something to not be stressing about at all anymore. So that's cool. This. Broken window. You know what here? Don't need to hold on to that right now, do we?
Can I help you?
So about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
Yeah.
Well?
Here it is.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's
Ooh.
all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. It's good you paid before 9 p.m., or your door would have been locked electronically.
Please
pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Oh,
I'll
jeez.
take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests.
Nah. So... What? What did we need to make that jump? For here, we want a coat back.
tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Oh. Try now.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
What if we add one more point? Oh.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Continue the voyage.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive.
We did it.
Alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
Alright, cool. What's this door? Oh.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down.
Why not? Empty coffee pot. Alright. Oh. Okay.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open it.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Those.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
So, they're a transit company. That's fair.
It's hard to make sense of this thicket
They're
of
on
company
docks.
names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Violation?
Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yours. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically more pleasing.
Well, my eyes go completely out of focus. All shapes start melting into each other.
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there?
Let's just get back
I
to
thought
work.
exactly, officer. Shall we?
The drawer slides.
That's fine.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friedrich.
Yeah,
to
flip
your
through it.
disappointment, there aren't any full coverage
boring.
after rifling. The magazine is divided into several sections.
Go away. I'll look at it later. So... What is Shivers? Spidey sense. So... Can't go back up there, can we? Ah, jeez. Alright. Well, you know, good thing we kind of poked around first and paid rent. Oh. Ani?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
By the way, Maple, if you could let us know how volumes are? They look good on the meter thingies, but confirmation would be nice.
Marsh. On. Arrête. Off.
On.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Cool. Cool. Boom. Okay.
And with a surprisingly quiet, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Understood.
The rusty control panel grows warm to the touch.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Yeah, see? We were really hoping that, like, our jacker would have, like, our, badge or gun in it.
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of many.
There's something special about this one.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe, I can't tell.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
Just feels right. It was hanging from the crane.
You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container.
You don't know that.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down.
Open the door.
To turn the handle, to know of. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. No reply.
Okay. Wait, what was that last
Back
thing?
before the cargo container.
Oh. Wait,
Its
can you
jaw
actually
does not
do
rest.
that? Let's see. Hold on, actually, let's make a hard save. Oh. Machines are sleeping. This. Oh. Rust and oil. Smells of blood. Can we crowbar it? Hell yeah, we can. And half-life? Well, it's only positive, so why not? Where? Ah. Ah. Greetings.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be.
Oh. Coffee. Come. Okay, you know what? This seems like a... Wait. Ah.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best.
Thanks.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
They call me Mr. Dubois.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
I'd wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Know him?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
No, it's fine.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
Yeah, we already begged a rich lady to pay our rent.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Oh, geez, he knows a lot.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull.
How do you know about it?
And
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right.
Okay.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
it was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Huh?
Who does this guy think you are? Ronnie the Rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun, or unpaid bill, or forgotten name. You're the bad cop. You're probably more corrupt than him.
Cross your hands behind your back? That's it? That's my point of pride here?
Fuck yes. You're part of the old guard, the ancient guard, the most corrupt, unholy cops in the land. Chill out like the black dragon you are. The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair than one would think is physically possible. He seems to be enjoying your little display. Good. Now lean in with some corruption.
Listen, Everett, pal, we both know what makes the wheels of this world turn.
That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters.
Bit with a chair, by the way. Good way to keep your guest on edge.
Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional appreciates your work.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
This is Worm's Lair, and we both know why I'm here.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a lawman. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? What can Everard Clare do for you?
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions. Don't you think so, Detective?
Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
Could you help me give a dead body down?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
A community leader, help your community
I can
out.
certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
Thanks.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending
Picard.
2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race signs. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy.
That container.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor.
Okay, never mind.
I rarely do, Harry. I have people for that.
Uh,
No, you were saying?
I'm talking about the
Oh,
hanging.
of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Open a few doors.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
Oh, it's gonna be very shady then.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
Door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
You know what?
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people
Birds.
call a local bigwig. I know
Fine.
fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when you can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Gonna ask me how I got in?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
Body's gonna break down any moment now.
You did look like you were gonna collapse and die when I told you about your lost gun. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
What about this local drug trade?
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and then...
Alright.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Joyce.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Seems to think a union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
What happened at previous negotiation?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
Yeah, I mean, why?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Okay, whatever.
Empty all your barrels on me, Harry.
Let's... Yeah.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
Just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Family?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's
That's-
not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
No.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
And a cop does it say I
Well,
am?
Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
What?
Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry. You're a real man's man.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file
Ooh,
cabinet.
that's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
What about the gun?
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmothers,
Okay.
everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Will he be
Who
pulling it?
knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Just, yeah.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Alright.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Thanks.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Go to Measurehead. Okay. Oh. Oh, get out of here. Ah. You know what? Oh. Oh.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not... You're back before...
Whale Fjord. You know, we're not really sure how to answer that question if we're being honest. Hell yeah, cash, money. Well, we're a detective cop with amnesia, and there's been a murder, and we're trying to solve it, and that's kind of about it. Tim.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
I'm gonna take a quick look inside.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph.
Let's get going. The entire neighborhood can see us up here.
Go down. No, we cannot.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
How hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes.
Do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Must have been an advanced scouting mission.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, all right.
Here, let's try this again.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawer slide.
Okay. Things.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, we're degenerate.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
It doesn't matter.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Yeah, alright. Alcoholic. What do you
No,
want?
you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race.
I just need your help.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation.
Your
How
boss
far
just
the
told you.
Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Whatever.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage
We're not
of history
begging.
with dignity. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and the walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory.
Doesn't that mean I have to become a semi-supremacist?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
Bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Okay.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
fair request in exchange.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
We're just trying to keep things from going to shit.
Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Well, probably the tree branch.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Ugh.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
Damn, Kim. None of your business.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno.
Oh no, Kuno.
The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
We don't want to be an advanced racist.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory.
There's, yeah.
What you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
What are your tattoos?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Sure, I'm not chromatically superior.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability.
That's enough.
Do not wish to be...
You know what? We just don't want to be here anymore.
Mazovian socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
Cool.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
They all come from.
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
Don't seem to like them
Gotta be
much.
bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
You know, fuck scabs.
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Start talking to him?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Or a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money." Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
It is.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Oh, he's a mercenary? Okay. Very specific cargo belt.
What a thought. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
What does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
Up.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
You have some money?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there.
Appreciated.
Return.
Always glad to help out the RC.
$1.
Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing, though.
A little bit helps.
I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
The door?
Key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
I don't know, some whistleblowers, I think.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
Not opening a door for myself, for all working men.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
the janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? The weasel person? When he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is, and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share?
Aye.
How large of a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Shouldn't take what's not yours.
Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. The prairie is wide enough for all of us.
What about your boss?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing a union entail?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Desk is lavish.
If reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion.
Fair.
Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Seem to spend a lot of time thinking about political situations.
Sure. I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Yeah, not disco.
The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be.
Nice talk. We gotta go. You know... I don't really want to talk with that guy. But... let's turn in our cash money.
Machine stand. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a...
Okay, we got a bit of money. Alright, guess probably first priority is checking out this. What's up, Kuno? You have a shit kicked out of you?
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
By the way, kipped is a racial slur.
Ugh.
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Ugh. Stop using the K word. It belongs to the past.
Can't tell Kuno what words to use? Fucking kipped.
What's with the word museum? You want to belong in a museum, Kuno, with old people?
Fuck you. Kuno says kipped if he wants to. Kuno's dad says kipped all the time. Kipped's a cool word.
Kipped, kippity, kipty, kipped.
It's like a little engine has come alive on the other side of the fence. An engine that only says...
Kipped. All right, shut it down, see. The cunt has business to do.
Found your shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
Phase shifted.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
You don't know.
He can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck at you again.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
Know anything about the drugs?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
With a pig head.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
You're a musician?
Yeah, Kuno plays on Snuff Radio.
Ooh.
Fucks pigs. Live. Fucks
Alright.
them. Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Whatever.
Kuno doesn't...
Fucking Kuno.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Well, it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Got it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Hate you.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You be affected with harlequinism.
You sure are good out of that one. Coppolini.
Whatever.
Come back later, Corpo.
What is
Come on,
this?
officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Uh-oh.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco.
Give him another pair of gloves.
Unfortunately, no.
Hopefully these work.
Better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
Okay.
In your paperwork, officer, just fill out...
Oh, thank you, Avisaur. Also, hello. Lost my paperwork.
Now they only have one paperwork too.
Officer, what haven't you lost?
My shoes, I have both of them. Found the other one too.
Good. Otherwise you would only have one shoe now. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several actually, but only if it helps move things along.
Let's work off yours for now.
Right. The autopsy form is near the end.
Okay. Some notes to bet.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
An assistant.
That's you.
Hey, the boy.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there, The next box says
Coroner case number 2.
KK57 dash 08.
Wow.
Next.
Name?
NA. Next. NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
Gonna write roughly 42.
He nods.
Face?
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex? Yes, please.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Wait, fucky, no.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and
Date of death a week
We're
ago.
still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 05.
Evidence of treatment?
None. At least not after the initial examination.
Agreed.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes
A little
2
religious?
seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside.
What?
Like drizzle. There is darkness in the shed.
Okay.
Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations.
What is this going on about?
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary?
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Write it down.
Boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.1. Tattoos.
Yeah.
The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern.
Just writing all this down.
The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
A bucket.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Not touching a corpse's
Humidity
hair.
is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Just
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife with the other hand pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Ugh.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully. With
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
Oh jeez.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Now, maybe we should put a point into physical. Yeah, let's have some healthy organ. A good spot to
The
cut.
belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
Here we go.
After some
good.
manipulation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Down.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
the rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
Closer, running his fingers along a dark red groove until there's a gap.
No ridging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! It's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is made...
Oh, just noticed her name's Kuno Knees.
No evidence of injury.
We're not gonna inspect it.
Back is symmetrical.
We'll trust
and
him.
intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Last item, hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle.
Expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
You find a moment as the lieutenant inspects the dead man's fingernails. Just a few glances. The pages are filled with a bulky freehand that's nearly illegible. It's very hard to draw conclusions. All you can make out is that he is in a hurry to solve the case. The tempo of the handwriting says as much, and that there are a lot of notes in there. Most of them are made prior to arriving at the scene, in preparation. It's not spelled out explicitly, but the lieutenant fears a tear is forming between the liberal moralist establishment of Revachol and her populist citizenry. This populist force, a potpourri of far right and left, is exemplified in the Débardeurs Union. Their strike, if allowed to escalate into violence, adds to the growing sense of civil war in the city. He's extremely neutral, even in his notes. But avoiding this escalation is Kim's primary concern when dealing with the situation.
Oh, here it is.
What?
Colonel's explanation summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
No.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips.
We're not feeling so great.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system.
Kim.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and hepatobiliary. NA.
Anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Okay.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Hey.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the
Alexis,
hands,
hi.
feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
Approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of there. Whatever.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Omit the voila.
What's next on the list?
Descriptions of injury.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What about injuries we inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay.
Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung. I don't think we should mention that. Better not to muddy the waters.
So, back to injuries. Bite mark.
Chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Probably post-mortem.
And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucker!
Maximum!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Right. Next.
What's the 4th one for?
Just in case.
Ligament marks.
Dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Bill?
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
What now?
Now we put him in a body bag and I drive him to Forborg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at the dead man one more time, then at his notebook, then at the corpse again. You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more...
Under his fingernails.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Yeah, there's something.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay.
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if all else fails.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
Only if all else fails. Hurry. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
I'll just
if you
bag
think
it up.
so, officer, I'm not good. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I'll take it from there.
Okay.
It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow.
Okay. We need to go use a bathroom. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, gonna run an ad while we're away, so ads don't play. Yeah, whatever. Or okay. Let's see. Boys here yet? This.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
Not now.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With a twist of lemon? Maybe lime?
No.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does. You gently shake his shoulder.
So is the place we need to unlock, is it over here or is it on the other side? Probably there. Thanks, Maple. Oh. Big stretches.
The nested yellow mailbox.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. Here, right? Oh.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eye.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
No trouble, just trying to figure out what's going
I don't
on.
want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
I need to talk with you.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Oh, anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinet's standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
Oh.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
What name?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Alright.
Good luck with the investigation.
Where are you going?
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
You're right.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Let's go check out the door near the pier again.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound.
I guess no one is in?
What's your opinion?
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about.
Got it.
The lieutenant merely nods. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes... Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through.
Pretty sure they said not to go in, but how could we not? There's stuff everywhere.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
But with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's that?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Old flag.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Yikes.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Ooh. Have on now. You know what? We'll put that on instead. It's nicer.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mystic...
Werewolf. It's a furry! No reason not to pick up every single thing. No.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Doing?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
Don't know what to write? I have an opinion.
Yeah?
Well, public art, don't mind us.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
Well, whatever. Get in yet?
A sturdy metal... This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
Kim is here.
You can't think of anything convincing.
It was like a 72% chance. Light this place up.
You're not.
You don't scare me, punk. I may be an old woman, but I can still take the likes of you.
Damn.
Madame,
There is no reply.
We got sassed by an old lady, and it made us a bit sad. Fair. Glad we can down there. Oh. Oh. What's at what time? Are written down? Well, let's start talking to some boys, drivers. If we can figure out about drugs.
What's on your mind?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
Yeah.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Straight with you, I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Any idea?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Okay. Grandma!
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands, in no response.
Snap fingers.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Tap them twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
A pale driver. Hope she thinks she's a drug smuggler. Alright, you're out of it.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
When else should you be then?
In Mefka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero. Until you came along, that is.
Alright, we have to ask some questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
You know anything about Drew? What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Oh, what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
Don't know.
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
I don't think
Of
you
course
do.
you don't.
What? Drugs?
What do I need drugs for, lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
Where could I get my hands on a experience like that.
If you don't know,
Drug smuggling?
want to do that?
A glory of a world republic, liberation of spirit and body?
Loman, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Okay, do you know anything about
Maybe.
smug juggling?
Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
Could you be hauling drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Loman?
I don't know.
It's diamonds, Loman, obviously.
Hey,
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
hey.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Okay.
Yes, go.
You have 2 points? Yes. Yeah, let's put a point in empathy. I like the idea of floating a point, seems like a good idea. Aren't there supposed to be freeway drivers we're supposed to be able to talk to? Oh. Huh? More? Ah.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles.
Wait for talk.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
Super cool.
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer, you're very cool. Bang, 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 bang!
Aw, really?
Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you
You know
like.
what? Leah's taking a shower and wanders out like partly naked. We're gonna close the door.
You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions.
Let's try it.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Do I want your money now?
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes. Money is...
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
What kind of stuff you selling?
The coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them
Discount
on
for
right
cool
here.
officers?
No shame, only free. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already...
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
Whatever.
Yes, it's a business secret. Let him keep it.
You have a permit?
Joke, officer. Here we don't have permits. Just economic free.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
Is that true, Kim?
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials
Cool.
hyper cool.
Get him.
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all anything for you.
That's fine. Fingerless gloves. Neat. Okay, I guess we should go back to the boss guy. Get our gun back. Need another $5 for tomorrow. $1 a day.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
Yeah.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
Oh.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Diesel might have cleaned up after the kill.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Doing great.
I'm not so sure about it.
Shut up, Kim.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are.
Punching and striker
By
related?
now, I'm sure you figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of...
I actually didn't know that, but okay.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
Pretty fucked, if true.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Pineapples?
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on. You have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Do that?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container.
You do want to try it.
The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Wait, so Joy... Ooh.
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
You know, based on what we know from dock workers from like Shenmue, yeah, that's fair.
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried. He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
Tell me about the crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Exemplary union members. always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Where are they?
You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're gonna show up in full force tomorrow.
Ah.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
Yeah.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company, after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal. He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Lawyer girl?
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
The Hardy Boys to cooperate?
But of course. It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right.
When you meet this Titus, tell him about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Why?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Fuck it.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
Now we have money for tomorrow.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What is that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you.
Listen, we will go kill a billionaire right now.
Agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded at
Give us our gun and we'll go shoot Joyce and steal her boat.
Help me.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Cool. If true.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Thoughts?
Depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
But didn't it, pretty much already tell us who did the killing?
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Where is this
On
place?
the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Current occupants.
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
100% sure no one's gonna end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
We're not saying yes.
We're gonna build a youth center there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people.
If you're a leftist, why do you care about property value?
Martinez, not just the harbor.
He means it.
No, okay. Fine.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop.
There's a pawn shop?
Now.
Oh.
Here there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist. Most certainly, Harry.
Oh, we already know everything.
Harry.
All right.
See you soon, Deba.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month
Balls.
construction period.
While we're just standing in front of him.
The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
That was only 6 months, he said. We're going to have to move away.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
That zoning plan.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say.
What's Inline Empire? Is that like gut feeling? Yeah. Ah.
My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Alright. You know what? Here, let's put a point somewhere. Let's have some pain threshold.
You're back before the cargo container.
starting to get kind of late. Let's talk to this damn mountain.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why shouldn't I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Oh, yes.
Ha! Couldn't handle us. Cause gives the workers strength, gives them power.
We have a right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the
right to work! Right to work!
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Where are all these strikebreakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
Thanks, Kim.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
given a job to do!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches get their ass
fucking
together,
scabs.
decide to
Fucking scabs.
other people.
You know, we don't believe in a concept of laziness. We don't think anybody is lazy. I think anything that's attributed to lazy has other things like an inability to do it or not an interest. Like, if you're not interested in something, that doesn't make you lazy. You know?
Beats
Or
me.
other things.
They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
Wearing new
He
clothes?
ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Where are you from?
What's it to you?
Hey, you look real familiar for a second there.
No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people.
Yeah, but what about your background?
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
From where? Sweet, I know bars, been thrown out from several.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Never heard of it, are you lying?
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
Get her gun and just shoot him. Oh, you're a driver?
Welcome.
Oh.
Revachol.
Hey, I know Ravishal.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Tell him, Kim.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Crabs!
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
That's right.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and...
This is getting
behave.
spicy.
But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave.
Damn.
I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim, I've got you back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
Yeah. We're homosexuals.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
People, can you clip that if you're not busy? Joyman, right? What's your stance on drugs? What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
What kind of car are you supposed to pick
Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Oh, so you're a racist.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design, so naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
The sarcasm?
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
That's good. We shouldn't be competing for resources. Like, there's enough to share. The problem's logistics.
The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Uh-huh.
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new...
Why don't you go
race.
fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, Runt.
Hey.
Looking for something, Runt?
Drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Cigarettes!
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Our responsibility to keep poisons off the streets, right?
He eyes you wearily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Hanging around for.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took...
Oh, can we stop with the...
Lost his fucking
No, they're
job over it.
fantasy, but like, oh. Slurs,
I
ugh.
haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
Rather willing, how you know it's Kips?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
Not you, who's running drugs.
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
As a lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars.
We really hope it's not the other guy who's a drug smuggler.
100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself...
Guess so.
Cash bin? Hell yeah. Give us that cash money, and that's 20 cents.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
Yeah.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
But you are.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot to tell me?
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get in...
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Hey, if you don't know, then I'll tell your employer you're selling his stuff.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
Want to get into this mess, you have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
That one?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
For these other drivers who
All
talk.
of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
You have money now?
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
We don't really want to just say it like that.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Are you trying to ask for...
Sorry, detective.
Let's go. We actually don't know. Could be any of them, honestly, at this point.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Help.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
This person, what's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
Oh.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Not trickery. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Who is she?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be...
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Leave us.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Oh, jeez.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, It looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Wait, her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with
Yeah,
others ratting
we were
him.
thinking that's kind of weird.
Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Fine.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Oh, jeez. This game is heavy. Like, we're enjoying it. Don't get us wrong, but jeez. Also, wow, already been 3 hours? This game goes by fast. Oh, jam. So, yeah. Think we're gonna not think. We are calling it here. Tomorrow's Friday, so you know, ready, be excited for some Fighting Friday, yeah. We'll think about it later if we'll continue streaming this game next week. Seems like there hasn't been a ton of interest for it. Maybe that's fair. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll probably ask in our Discord. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah.